Buddy, welcome to day 2. How'd you do last night, sir? Did you win anything? Did you lose? Good for you. I don't gamble either. It's the best way to save money, right? How about you? Did you win or lose last night? Did you win or lose last night gambling? No? Didn't gamble. All right. So the only gamble you're going to have? The speakers are on the other side. So you're not hearing out of these speakers. I'll talk louder. So
our speakers are
okay,
going
hang
out
on
to
just a
that
second.
side.
We'll get this worked out. All right, we getting any better? How's that? Good, all right. My name is Russell. This is Corey. We're from Custom Building Products, and we want to talk to you about a few products we have in our custom tech line, which is our floor preparation systems. We make a calcium aluminate system of skim coats, finish compounds, patching compounds, levelers. All of them are calcium aluminate products. We also make primers and water mitigation products as well. So we're going to talk to you about a couple of different products just real quick. One is our Tech Patch MP, which is a multi-purpose patch designed to give you a smooth profile for resilient floor covering. Our ramping patch, which will be designed to give you some structural stability to bring a floor up to another floor, create an ADA ramp. All this with a very, very fine profile on top that is good for all types of resilient floor covering. And then we'll talk about this board here pretty quick at the end. Now, calcium aluminate powders are different than Portland cement powders or powders that are reinforced with gypsum. We see a lot of gypsum underlayment out there. Calcium aluminate is a denser cement, dries faster, gives you a much better compressive rating, and you get on your job a lot faster than you do with the Portland cement or a gypsum-backed product. Okay, so time is money. You guys want to be able to get onto this as fast as you can. So when you have to do a nice profile on even what you might think is a smooth surface, Tech Patch MP is going to be the product for you, and I'm going to let Corey take it from here.
All right. So our Tech Patch MP, multi-purpose patch. Anytime you got a surface prep, you're coming in with a resilient flooring, either luxury vinyl plank, luxury plank. You basically want to make sure that you don't have any deviations, any texture in the substrate, because that can telegraph up through your finished goods. So this is good for either, even if you have a relatively smooth-looking concrete slab, you can skim coat over this. If you got a little bird bath, you got a small area, you really need to bring it up. You can actually bring it up to a ½ inch or so, fill in any low spots. Basically want to get that real nice and smooth for your finished floor. So I'm just going to hit this. Flat trowel. You can actually take this down and hold it real tight if you want to just fill in the low spots, the little imperfections in the surface, or you can build it up a little bit thicker if you want. Generally what we'll do is we'll hit this, we'll let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, and that'll kind of take a set. Let me get a little bit more. Let's build that up a little bit. Just let that set for about 15 minutes or so, and then you come back. I got a little something going on there. And you come back later and hit the high spots, and we'll see what that looks like when we get back. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this side for a second. Now this is our Tech Patch RP, our ramping patch. And this is obviously, you need a ramp. You got one floor coming into another. Let's say as an example, you got a bedroom, it's coming into a bathroom. You've got your bathroom where you've built up the floor, you've got some backer board, you've got tile up, you're missing it, you need to ramp up, you need a graduation from one floor to the next. You can actually take this and you're going to build it up. Now this doesn't need, let's say we're going over concrete, you don't need any kind of a primer, and let's say you're on a commercial job and let's say they busted it out, it's a rough pour because they know they're coming in with another floor. You can actually take this, do what they call a scrub coat. Some people call it a scrub coat or a slurry coat. Just to get a little bit of that. work this in. That's going to assure that we get a good mechanical bond. And once we get to the point where we're ready to pour our material down, obviously this is like a small area. I'm going to have this mixed up a little on the heavier side because I want to set up quick. Let's say you got a commercial installation and maybe it's a 20-foot opening between one room and another. Probably going to mix it a little on the looser side. Might have a guide up here, another one down here. This one's obviously going to be a little higher. And that way you can dump your material down. It's probably going to take several buckets, but it's a little looser, so it's a little easier to kind of, spread. You're going to take a straight edge, move it back and forth. And then you're going to roughly shape your ramp. That's a good mix. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of rough shape. And on this high side, key that in. And as you're shaping it, you're going to want to really pack it into that high side so that you don't get any, sag. I don't think we're going to get any sag on this. So we'll get there. And when you're doing this with your straight edge, I'm going to hold that just so this table. You want to make sure that your tailing edge is what you're pushing down on. If you go down too far in front, it's going to dig in. So you want to make sure that you're basically using that tailing edge as your pressure point. So let's go back, forth. Reshape this a little bit, put that up there where I want it. That's going to be right where we want it. All right.
So one of the nice things about this product is it's got a very fine sand in it. That fine sand gives you a really good profile on top. So you don't have to go back with this one with the finished compound. You can work it a little bit with your steel flat trowel, give it a nice smooth, get the fines up really nice and even on top, instead of having to waste time to come back with a finished compound or an additional patch to get it that smooth profile that you need for resilient floor covering. So this particular product can go up to 1.5 inches thick on the high side, down to a feather edge on the low side. Tech Patch MP is designed to give you the ability to go up to a 1/2 inch. We have one called Silk that gives you an 1.5 inch range as well as a finished compound. So we've got some things that can do some deep fill as well as some skim coating to give you that profile that you need so that your resilient floor covering doesn't telegraph any imperfections underneath it. Corey, you're going to go ahead and do another run through on the Tech Patch MP, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Tech Patch MP has been setting up for a little while. It needs to firm up a little bit before you go back and give it its final steel troweling. Otherwise, you'll notice that these ridges will kind of consolidate, really become prominent, and you'll have to do a lot more screening or sanding at the other end. We're trying to give you some techniques to kind of prevent that, maybe reduce it enough where you don't have to spend a lot of time making sure that your profile is what you need to do. Corey, go ahead and take it away.
All right. So let's assume this has been 10, 15 minutes, probably been a little shorter than that, but anything that where you got any little voids, little high spots, I'm going to hit this again. Taking that down. And then anything that you've got left over after this, you can probably come back with a light screen sanding and take that down. You're basically looking for it to be super smooth so that you don't get any telegraphing from any texture underneath coming up through your finished floor.
All right, so all these products are in the catalog. Everybody get a catalog? Okay, cool. So all these products are in the catalog. We also make a line of levelers as well, and even high performance toppings that can be polished and coated. So you've got everything from a patch and skim coat all the way up to a wear layer surface. And then I want to talk to you about this board right quick. How many of you do stuff over wood subfloor? Wood subfloor all the time. So if you have to go through and you have to skim coat or patch that, you have to use a lath reinforcement, don't you? Well, this particular product is called Tech Level WSF. This is our wood subfloor leveler. You can actually pour this on primed subfloor without lath at 1/4 of an inch and do what I'm doing now with your floor. Normally you get, at most extreme, you're 19.2 on center with an engineered I-beam, right? This is 48 inches on center with 3/4 inch OSB. I'm roughly 200 pounds. So I can take 2 of me, or actually 3 of me, and put it on this board, and it may bottom out a little bit more, but it won't break, won't crack. In fact, we've destroyed the actual OSB before we've destroyed the WSF on top. Very flexible, highly dense. This is another calcium aluminum product. And the nice thing about it is once you've worked this product, you go back and give it that final skim to break the bubbles and the tension on top like you would with a regular leveler. The profile on this, without having to do any finish compound on top, is ready for vinyl flooring. So now you can speed that part up too. So now you're getting on top of these in just hours instead of waiting on another compound to finish drying. So, all right, folks, we're going to be here to answer any questions that you have for a few minutes. Otherwise, Custom Building Products is about 1/4 mile down that way. So take a left and head back down there. You'll see our big banner up in the sky. We'd be glad to host you over there and have another conversation about these products. And also at 3 o'clock today, come back by. We're going to host a hospitality hour, so there'll be some food and some beer and some wine. And come on down and we'll get to know you. Thanks for being here. We appreciate your time.